So for a while now, or actually, have you ever looked at a picture or a drawing of yours of a character or something, and have you ever wondered, what would that look like if it was in motion? For example, what would this look like if it was in motion? How would it move? Would its ears move? Would its mouth move? How? So, for a while, I've been wanting to learn how to animate and do digital art. Hence, that. And first things first, I had to buy myself a tablet, which they're pretty cheap. You can get one pretty easily. So I did, and I tried out the program that it came with, as well as some other programs. But you see, the first program that I tried, it worked, but I could not figure out how to get it into an animation. I made all the frames, and it worked in the program, but I couldn't export it. The second program, I waited about 8 hours before giving up because it didn't download any percentage at all. So I went on the one last resort I had, Windows Movie Maker and Microsoft Paint. Very frowned upon in the animation community, but it works. This was my first animation, or a frame from it. It was 115 frames, 8 seconds long, which is about the 14 frames per second. In a professional animation, like movies or shows, frames per second are usually 120, roughly, frames per second. The more frames you have per second, the smoother the animation will be. The animation was surprisingly smooth, especially if it was made in Microsoft Paint and Windows Movie Maker. I was surprised. This is what I've been working on for a while. I had to take out a few frames because they just did not work. A couple of frames I had to redraw about 10 times. It was very time consuming. And let's watch it. It's 8 seconds long, 40 frames. So 5 frames per second. And that, only 5 frames per second compared to 120 frames per second that it could have been, and that would have taken forever. This was very time consuming, and it actually took a toll on me. I realized this, as you can see, I'm wearing a wrist brace. For repetitive movement can lead to carpal tunnel, and that is a bad thing that I don't want. So the last finishing touches I did on that animation, I tried my best to not strain myself, but I ended up straining myself. And, I learned my lesson in that you cannot rush an animation. It will take time. It will dig and eat into your other time that you can use to do other homework. That I kind of regret, but in the end, it was all worth it.